Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. We have been moving through some really significant energies over the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks here. And I just wanted to share some insights here on this video. We've been talking a lot about the divine masculine's journey through his or her dark night of the soul. And we're going to be continuing with that trend, so to speak. It's not a trend, it's a movement. And we're going to be just looking into the energies of what's happening in the connection. So I've got 2 tarot decks here, one to use, one to clarify, the Moonology deck, just because we have another full moon, I think it is new moon. We have a moon coming up and the moon is going to influence the connection, the moon, the tides. I just feel like the emotional element. In a lot of my private readings that I worked on yesterday, the water element was very present. So we're going to tune into that. And then the Earth Magic deck to sort of ground the energies and find out what is happening from a more grounded or earthly standpoint, if you will. And yeah, as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos over the past week, the Ten of Swords is a card that's come up for the masculines. And the Ten of Swords, or sorry, Ten of Wands. And so, sorry, I had a phone call there. So one of the things that's happening is the masculine is feeling burdened, yet also at the same time simultaneously relieving himself or herself of the burdens that they've been traveling with on this journey, on this life journey. And so in many cases, it's looking a little chaotic from the outside. It's looking like the divine masculine is acting recklessly, acting almost endangering himself or herself, right? Like the energy is that the masculine energy is moving through the darkest night yet of their soul, and everything has been uprooted, everything, or I should say nothing is making sense right now. They don't feel like they have balance. They don't feel like they are able to get a grip on themselves, on their emotions, on their life. Everything is changing so fast, not only in their own personal situations and lives, but on the planet. And so they're lost, guys. They're lost puppy dogs at this point. And again, I'm not tuning into every single divine masculine. I have divine masculines watching this channel who have gone through the awakening process, who have gone through and moved through and healed through addictions, who have been incarcerated, who have lost jobs, lost custody of their children, gone through divorces, just been to their lowest points. And they're now on the other side of that. And they're going to be the ones shining the light and leading the way for these masculines as the feminine energy steps back right now. And as I've been saying, it may sound harsh, but the feminine is realizing I have to allow them to fall. But it's not like you're not going to want to say this to them because they're depressed. Okay, when you're in the dark night of the soul, it feels like nothing is ever going to work out for you. Nothing good happens for me. Nothing good happens to me. It never works out for me. Okay, so the best thing to do for a lot of feminines right now, and you'll be intuiting this if this is the right path for you, is to simply step back and let your masculine move through this energy while you focus on self-love and your healing, and you focus on your path, your journey, your mission, and joy. If you're constantly looking over your shoulder at what they're doing or what they're moving through, and you're trying to check in with them, it's actually going to delay their healing, and it's going to impede the union process. I cannot stress that enough. And if that's the reason why somebody decides, you know what, I've reached out, I've been here, I've let them know that I'm here, think about how that might have impeded your process when you were moving through a dark night of the soul. If somebody was constantly checking in, you don't necessarily feel that urgency to heal and to move through what you need to move through to get to the other side of that dark soul, the dark night of the soul. And so you're just sort of like, well, if I know somebody's there, it's a crutch, okay? It's like, it's a crutch that you have. And the feminine is really releasing all ties to codependency within her system. And the masculine's going to feel like they're actually alone, because anybody else that they try to go to, whether it's a karmic partner or a karmic situation or money or a job or travel or whatever it might be, nothing is going to fill the masculine up anymore. They're past that stage. Nothing is going to make them happy. The only thing is them getting right with their own soul, filling their own cup, and also in some cases, in a lot of instances, feeling like they've lost the feminine. Sometimes we have to feel like we've lost something in order for us to fight for it. But it's not about this is not, again, a 3D measurement of, oh, I want them to fight for me. I want them to. This is about the masculine finally releasing the ties that bind him to the darkness. A lot of us haven't wanted to admit that our masculines contain darkness. Oh, others do, not mine. It's being presented to us right now, especially with this Mars-Venus mashup and meeting. In the sign of Leo, we're seeing ego clashes, we're seeing the ego deaths, we're seeing how the masculines may have been or are operating from the standpoint of ego versus the heart, and it can be disheartening for the feminine. So that's why I'm here delivering these messages. A lot of you have emailed me letting me know that my messages are resonating, so I'm really grateful for that. And we're gonna go ahead and just look into the cards. We're going to start here with the Syrian starseed. Okay. If we could just invite in Archangel Michael. He's my dude. We ask him to create a sphere of loving protection around this reading, the cards, myself, all of you watching, the kitty out here. And of course, our unions and our masculines. And I'm also going to call on my guides, my light team, to please allow me to be a pure vessel of divine truth for this reading, and clarity and compassion and support for the collective, especially for the divine masculines as they move through this process. And the archangels to just support us, whichever archangels need to be present. I feel like Archangel Jophiel is really present right now for the feminines as you focus on self-love, healing self-hatred, which is going to assist your masculine as well. Apologize if there's the noise of the fan in the background, guys, but it's warm, so I needed a little bit of air to breathe. So we're going to look into the energies here. Divine masculine energy here, overall energy for the divine masculines. Well, we're going to take this top one. So this is the Temperance card in the traditional tarot. So the masculines are moving through this alchemical process of transformation. Now, the symbols for the twin flame journey are the phoenix rising, the serpent energy, the kundalini energy, right? It's the energy of transformation. It's the energy of death and rebirth. And this alchemical process is changing the masculines from the inside out. Currently, what's happening is their belief systems are being challenged at an ever-increasing pace and rate. Their old programs are being literally wiped out of their systems, and the ego is fighting for dear life. The ego is clinging, and that's what you guys are witnessing in the 3D. You may want to do what I had to do. You may want to cut off communication from your masculine in the 3D realm if it's not serving you or the connection. So Holly, our amazing healer that many of you are now have asked me to be referred to her to, she is the twin flame healer. Okay, she's worked with myself, many other divine feminines, and a lot of my clients. She's incredible. She is taking new clients right now. She's absolutely amazing. You want to book her because she's booking up really fast, guys. And what she was telling me, what she was explaining to me is, right now, there's these sort of empty triggers, if you will, where things are happening or things are going to come up in the connection if you're in communication, which many of us have been in communication in recent weeks with our masculines in the 3D. They've come up, they've sort of risen up from the dead, if you will. They've been resurrected, and the connection's been resurrected in that reunion energy bubble. But then the masculines are displaying these egoic tendencies, these egoic battles, and the feminine will be triggered Okay, and the feminine is now being asked to step back and just go quiet, because these are empty triggers. They're not getting you anywhere. They're not getting the connection anywhere. They're not benefiting you or your counterpart. So think about that, feminine. When you go to respond, you don't have to respond. If your masculine calls or texts and you can feel that they're not in a space where they're going to be able to have a conversation that is conducive to moving you closer to union, to moving you closer to a peaceful process, just a peaceful conversation in general, you don't have to answer the call. You don't have to call them back right now. You can set that boundary silently. You don't have to do it. And that's what the feminine has learned. I don't have to set boundaries necessarily in the 3D. I can do it with my actions or lack thereof. I can do it with my silence. The masculines are moving through something that is so incredibly intense right now. And they're going to want to cling to the feminine, because the feminine has the answers and they know this. Even if they've not understood it in the past, even if they've kind of ridiculed you, that, by the way, the ridiculing was just their ego not understanding what's happening. Regardless of what they have, how they have reacted to your gifts and your powers, feminine, they're now needing and wanting those gifts and powers desperately. So they're transmuting right now. And in this process, they are going to be changing. They're changing whether they like it or not, whether the 3D egoic self likes it or not. They're in the process of becoming a new version of themselves, guys. They really are. And so there's some grief and some fear that they're moving through. The ego is in fear. And the ego is also in grief, because it's losing the former self. It's losing the ties that bound them to the darkness, to negativity, to feeling like they couldn't have it all, to addictions, or to karmic interactions, let's say. And they're learning to embrace their own infinity, to bring more harmony into their lives, guys. And this is a beautiful energy. So let's go ahead and clarify with the Light Seers deck and see. What's interesting is, for the personal readings I'm doing right now, there's a lot of energy of just a lot of challenging energies. And then when I look into future energies, it's like the Sun card and the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. I mean, it's beautiful energies. We're just moving through a rough process right now, and we have to remember that we're moving through it together. Too many cards. Can you clarify the Alchemy card, Spirit, the Temperance card? Page of Swords, brand new ideas. The illumination of the path forward is what I'm hearing for the masculines. And the 9 of Wands, keep going. I mean, keep the light on, you know. But they're learning, again, like I've been saying, guys, they're learning to fire up their own light at this time and not rely on the feminine's light. And that's why the feminine's been guided to pull back. You know what? It's time for my masculine, my love, the love of all my lifetimes, to remember his light or her light without me reminding them. They can't forget you, feminines. It's not like they're going to forget me if I disappear for a few weeks or a few days or a few months. They're not going to forget you. It's impossible. This is not a 3D connection. This is based on a soul tie. So they're moving through. This is actually beautiful energy today for the masculines. 9 of Wands is my card of just keep going and don't give up. Now, regardless of what is being presented in front of you, it's determination, it's resiliency, and the masculines have this. It's like the final push through whatever they're moving through, okay? That final push forward, which is going to lead them into this youthful, a youthful energy of starting a new chapter. And you see how she's on a tight wire here? It's like she's juggling different things. She's reading the book. She's got the light bulbs, the ideas. The birds are giving her inspiration and helping her see a higher perspective. And there's a little worm here that I see that I've never noticed before, like an earthworm. So that would be what's grounding her, I feel. That's helping to ground her here into the physical. Because the swords energy is all up in the mind and shit. Okay, guys, so the feminine, the King of Swords, interesting. The masculine's presenting as the Page of Swords, well, partially, and the feminine's presenting as the King of Swords. Yeah, and this is where I see that the feminine is like, I've made up my mind, and I am absolutely, without a doubt, anchored in the knowing that this is what I need to do. That the best way to support you, my beloved, is to actually step back and let you move through what you need to move through right now. So the feminine is mastering thought form. Okay, she's mastered thought form. There's an intensity here always with the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords. And she's mastering the challenges her mind or her ego is creating. And as she masters her ego, her masculine will move through and flow through this alchemical process in just a smoother manner. She's definitely moved through the defeating, the self-defeating or the destructive or self-fulfilling prophecies that the masculine's currently moving through. This is why she's literally holding space right now, but she's doing so silently. She's like, I'm loving you from a distance, from afar, and I'm holding space. Look, she's encased in a bubble here. I'm holding space because you need this tough love right now, masculine. I mean, and they do, guys, they do. You're not doing them any favors by holding their hand through the dark night of the soul. Nobody held your hand. Right? They know that you're there. They know that when they emerge, the man or woman that they know they can be, that you know they can be, they know that on the other side of this, you will be there. They know that union is possible. They feel it. That's why they keep on coming back. They can't stay away from you. Regardless of the excuses they give to themselves or to you, we're too different, or I don't understand you, or we have blah, 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 blah. They know that this is a union. They know because you're already in union in the 5D. They know who you are on some level or many levels. Feminine, the magician. You are the magician. You have the ability to bend things at your will, to actually influence matter. That's really what this card is about. The influence of matter, your infinite potential as an infinite soul, an infinite being of light. But you're working in the mind element right now mostly. You're quiet, you're silent. You're most powerful when you're quiet and silent, especially as the masculine moves through the dark night. Feminine, dream time, creation. So your dreams are maybe even prophetic at this moment. Very creative, very inspiring, very illuminating. Your dream state is likely very busy right now. A lot of us that are ascending are not sleeping very well right now. We are not sleeping. We're tired during the day. We're awake at night, or you're just waking up. You're having very vivid dreams. you're moving through a lot of alchemical processes yourself in your dream state. You might want to keep a dream journal, those of you who are dreaming a lot right now, because what's happening is you're receiving information about your future, information about building your empire, your queendom or your kingdom. And also, I see past lives here, your ancestors that are coming through in dream state that are guiding you and assisting you on your journey now more than ever before, because you're ready for that. So feminine, I think it would be a good idea for you to start keeping track, and I'm saying this to myself also because I dream every night. Start keeping track of those dreams. Masculines. Wow. Wolf instinct, lake stillness. So interestingly enough, both twins are being instructed to go quiet at this time. Very interesting. They're trusting their instincts. Guys, we are seeing this play out as a theme over and over and over. The masculine in private readings and collective readings is getting the high priestess. Okay, he's getting the Hierophant energy. He's getting the hermit energy. Why? Because he's going within. He has to go within at this time. Feminine, you're guiding him, you're assisting him, you're showing him this is how you do it. You go inward, you trust your instincts. He's a lone wolf at this time. He needs to be a lone wolf, guys. He needs to be separating himself from all distractions, so that he can come into his own inner knowing and trust himself. He hasn't ever really trusted himself. You know, the wolf as an animal is, yes, instinctual. They act on instinct. They live on instinct. They can smell fear from a mile away. They know when they're being hunted. They protect each other, right? They travel in packs. They have an alpha wolf, an alpha male who's guiding them. I feel like the masculines are being guided to be the leader, the fearless leader of the pack. And the pack is really their divine feminine and the family that they will create with you. However if that family is pets as children, if that family is a combined family, if you have children with your masculine, if you don't have children, whatever that looks like, you will be a family with your masculine because you are a family in spiritual truth. You are already in partnership and union. And the lake card to me is just driving home the point that the masculines really need to do this alone. Let's get a card right now for the union. Rain. Oh, amazing. Beautiful. This is such a beautiful card. I love the rain, and it's rainy season here where I live, and this is amazing. So the rain is sent here to purify the connection. This is the union energy card. We're purifying. That's what's happening right now, guys. The connection with your counterpart is being purified. So that, why? So that we can come into a greater understanding of our mission, of why we're here, so that the masculines can purge. They're purging, guys, big time. They're going to purge onto you if you allow it. They're being triggered and they're purifying. Feminines are also purifying their space, purifying their home. They're purifying their thoughts. I feel like this is also talking about the masculines going through a period of just intense purification from addiction, purifying like their egoic desires. For the masculines who were addicted to sex, addicted to pornography, addicted to really anything, they're going to be experiencing this intense purification process where they will no longer desire those things. Or if the masculines were, you know, pursuing other women or other men because of their own egoic desires, they're going to be, it's like that's going to just stop in its tracks. It's interesting here. I'm going to clarify this, I think. Interesting. Let's clarify. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Let's clarify the Purification card. The Fool card. That's the Starseed card, is the Fool card. The card, the 0 point energy field at which anything and everything is possible. As Joe Dispenza says, limitless possibilities. We live in a limitless possibility field. We just have to tap into it and access it with our thoughts, with our mind, drawing our thoughts to our body so that we experience that in our physical. This is the point at which anything is possible, the point at which everything begins. So this is the starting over point of, this is actually where everything begins again. We are beginning again in our connections. That's why it feels like a death for a lot of us. It feels like a death in your connection. It feels like a death. A lot of you are going to feel like, I don't even know who my counterpart is anymore. And they might feel the same way about you because you've shifted and changed so much, feminine. They're going to feel like, I don't even know who she is anymore. And you're going to feel like, I don't even know who he or she is anymore either. And there's a birthing process that's about to happen. Something new is being birthed. But first it has to be cleansed and purified. This is like preparation in the soul realms, in the ethereal realms, to bring this new beginning into the physical world. That's what's happening right now. It's preparation. It's spirit preparing to manifest in the physical form. So it's like this conscious intention that you are setting, this conscious thought. And it's about trusting that we know exactly where we're going at the soul level, so we can let the soul lead the way, and we can release the need, release the fear, and release the fear like that the ego has of, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know when this is going to happen, I don't know when my counterpart's going to come back, this is scary, I feel like we're moving through a death, and what if I lose them? But what if you gain so much more by, what if the old connection, the old cycles are finally, they're decrepit, they're finally ending so that a new one can begin. This is all about faith, divine feminine. Do I trust my soul's guidance? Do I trust my soul's direction? Do I trust myself to leap into the unknown and have that faith? And what's guiding me, and what beautiful, amazing things are going to await me on the other side of this? I want to get a future energy card, but Spirit's telling me no, don't be greedy, and just enjoy the energy that we're in. Okay, so let's get a card here from the Moonology deck. Masculine energy, please. Expect powerful change. Well, we already know that with the alchemical process that they're moving through. But yes, feminine, expect your masculine to move through powerful changes at this time. New moon eclipse. Things are being eclipsed out of their lives again, guys. I mean, they might have thought, oh, I've made the change. Like I was saying, I've made the change. I've gone through the divorce. I've left the job that I didn't like. They may have thought that was it. That was only the beginning. That was only the beginning of the transformation process for the masculine energy. There's a lot more in store. And then we also have for the masculine, meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. New moon energy. This is also along the lines of the Fool card, the new energy, cleansing out the old. They're asked again to go within. The stillness card, go within, meditate, contemplate. Stop seeking answers or validation or prizes masculine outside of yourself, go within. I feel as though the masculine energy, on some level, they know what they need to do. And then on another level, they're resisting this powerful change. But it's only bringing them more misery, more pain. They don't understand what's happening, and they have to start to trust that what's happening is happening for their greater good. Releasing the past. So it's like they were headed in one direction, and then all of a sudden, Spirit's like, haha, just kidding. We're going in this direction. And all of a sudden, everything changes. All of a sudden, the masculines are on a different path, okay? The divine is coming in, turning them around literally to face a different direction so that they can begin the process of moving into union energy with their feminine and with themselves. Feminine, prosperity lies ahead. Interesting. Void moon, nothing will come of this situation. Nothing will come of the fear. Look, it's like if you keep on focusing on the lack, or focusing on the masculine's absence, or focusing on, oh, I thought this was going to happen, but then this didn't happen, or this happened, or focusing on whatever it is that it's just not serving you. So the divine is saying, just relax and be easy with your thoughts, with your emotions. Don't worry about it. The divine is taking care of everything. I know that's a scary card. Whenever we see the void card, it's like, oof, but it's important, okay? It's like when we fear and when we stay in that place of fear, it doesn't get us anywhere. Fear begets more fear. It's just really all about adjusting your expectations, feminine. Okay? Trust that if there's a death happening in your connection, which more than likely there is if you're still watching this reading, that it's because something better is coming. It's because something better is right around the corner. Surrender. This is also asking you to meditate and contemplate just like your masculine. And then know that with the new moon and Taurus energy, both you and the masculine have new moon energy. Prosperity lies ahead in your physical reality. Taurus energy rules the five senses. So this is intangibility. So what you can see, touch, taste, smell, and hear in your physical environment. Focus on that. So let's go ahead and just clear out, or let's go ahead and just pull a card for advice for the feminine, because that's been really helpful, and I've been doing that in private readings too. Just advice for the feminine energy. Man, it's hotter than I expected out here. Interesting. Where should I put this? Sage, which is the Queen of Cups, feminine. The ultimate female authority, the Empress, the High Priestess, the Magician, all tied up into one. It speaks of fertility. It speaks of a feminine who's mastered her emotions. And there's a great inner peace about this feminine. You see how she's got a cup that's full. She's not seeking a partner or anything outside of herself. She's filled this cup by herself. She's in these magical waters, and she's just in awe of what she's created, of her ability to really be, it's not about being, I shouldn't say in control of her emotions, but to have balanced out her emotions so that they're not the ones controlling her. Her emotions don't control her. She can look at her emotions as they flow in, as they come in, and decide which ones to act on or not. She's a healer. She's a guide. She's a high priestess. She's the medicine woman, the earth mother, the queen. She is all of those archetypes. all in one. So be loving, feminine, okay? Be loving through this process as your masculine moves through the process of alchemy. I can't talk now. It's probably time to end the reading. As your masculine moves through the process of transformation, transmutation. Yes, you're in the King of Swords energy, but you're also invited into the Queen of Cups energy. So be kind, be loving, but know what your boundaries are. This is about having healthy boundaries. You're still the healer. You're still the queen of his heart and his soul. You're masculine. It's just that right now you guys are, the feminine is asked to really take care of herself. I feel like there's a message here. One more card. There's a message from the masculine. They've been really urgent with this, like recently, the masculines. Wow. I thought so. Okay, look at this. This is the Queen and the King of Cups. He wants to come in as your counterpart. I knew that felt urgent. Your masculine wants desperately nothing more than to come in as your counterpart. Guys, here's the ultimate pair, the King and the Queen of emotions. This is an emotional time for the counterparts, indeed. This is a time where both are learning to master their emotions, to keep their hearts open, to forgive one another, to forgive others who have hurt them in the past, to be honest with themselves about what's transpired in their past, even before they met each other in the physical in this lifetime. Healing from past lifetimes, healing from grievances, healing from the fears, the hurts, the pain, and not taking it out on each other. This is a masculine with emotional intelligence. He's mastered his emotions, but he also knows how to be loving and kind and give, how to take care of the feminine. To see that come up right now is very promising and it's just soothing for the heart. Especially those of you whose masculines came in and then you had to cut them out, or you had to some way sort of back away, and you may have thought this is it, union is here, and then all of a sudden something happened, something transpired, more triggering, more purging, and you had to step back. And so you might be feeling just very exhausted. You might be feeling like a lot of you have expressed, I just want to leave the journey. I'm so tired, Sarah, I'm just done. I hope this revitalizes your faith in yourself and your counterpart and in this connection, listening to what's going on here, stepping away from the 3D and seeing, yes, there are triggers, yes, there are maybe hurtful things said or done, but that there's a higher purpose for all of it. Tap into your masculine's higher self and keep going back into your heart. Get out of the mind. You will not find the answers to this connection in your mind. Not ever. This doesn't make sense. This connection in the 3D, it just doesn't. You have to go into your heart space. You have to keep your heart open. I send you guys so much love and support, unconditional love. I will see you in the next reading. Until then, take good care.